everyone, my name is Christine. So this video is gonna be about things that I've learned in the past 7 years. So just a little bit about me and why I was inspired to do this video. I came to the US in 2012 by myself. I did not know anyone here in the US. I did not have any friends, family, or anything. So it was a little bit intimidating at first, but I guess this was also one of the biggest decisions I've ever made in my life that I never regret. So today's video is just gonna be about those things I've learned about this self-discovery journey and those things that I think has some value to share with the world. So let's go. I think there's a tendency for people to love hearing good stuff and they dislike about those negative things in their life. But for me, I don't see those criticisms as a negative thing. Criticisms are as important as those compliments, but a lot of people dislike it because they only want things that actually makes them happy, which is compliments for the most of the time. So that means whenever I hear someone says, Christine, you are so cool, I like your style and stuff like that, I'll just simply say thank you. And deep in my heart, I know it's not all about me. It's about any other external factors too sometimes. In Chinese, we have a saying says, 天时地利人和, which basically says that any kind of success or accomplishment is a combination of your own effort, people's help, luck, time, and location. So a lot of people tend to feel like, if I'm successful, that is 100% my effort. That is a yes and no. Yes, you definitely have to put 100% effort into everything that you are doing, but also keep in mind that sometimes if the timing is not right, if you're just born in the wrong time, maybe even you have the best intention ever, those things will not happen easily. And then for those people who criticize you, I think you should also thank for them, because without them, you probably would never be good. So when people criticize about me, I would always think about whether this is true or not. I'll reflect and what is the things I could improve so I could be better. So I see those criticisms as a cornerstone to help me to meet that better version of myself. A lot of times we tend to label people and group them into people I like and people I don't like. So this is actually what causes things to become problematic, because when you have this preconception in you, for those people you like, even they did something wrong, you always help those people to rationalize what they are doing, even this actually against some of your values. For those people you don't like, even they do things with the best intention ever, you will still think they are not good. So I think having this equal mindset towards every single human being in this world is the thing we all have to learn. It's the mindset we all have to adopt, because if you dive that deeper, it has a lot to do with expectation. So if you feel like you have a high expectation for people, if they do things good, then you will be happy. If they do things that's not so good, you will be sad. And it seems like your happiness was determined by whether those people do according to your will. So I think this is a lot of times make us either happy or upset. So what we should do is knowing that ourselves, are the people who we have 100% control of. And this is the source of your happiness. It's not anything that's external, but something internal. People change because they feel like change. It could partially be because of you, but they have to make that decision themselves. This is true especially in a relationship. When two people are together, they tend to change each other, and that means you actually wouldn't be able to accept who that person, he or she is. Instead, you want to change her or him the way you want her or him to be. And this should not be happening in a relationship. I think, just personally, a perfect relationship would be two people accept 100% who the other part is, maybe provide some advice to each other so they can be better, or criticism sometimes to make them better, but they also accept the way he or she is. The best relationship is when two people are together, they don't feel pressured, and then they actually enjoying this sharing and learning and growing together. The next thing I'm going to talk about is my view about success. I feel like success is just a label. So it is a term that's invented by human beings, and a lot of us try to pursue success. But for me, I don't think success is something that you pursue. It is just a word. A lot of us think too much about this word, and they even prioritize success over anything else. I think what's more important than success itself is just take the ownership of your life. Try your best. Take 100% control of your life. Be the best valuable person ever, and try your best to help people so that success will chase you. As I've mentioned, a lot of times we are controlled by, those external things. We feel sad about certain things that doesn't happen according to what we want it to be. And I think to some extent it made us feel anxious sometimes. Sometimes people feel if he or she doesn't achieve this so-called success, they will be a loser. But I never think there's any, I think those are all just words. What's more important is doing what you want, doing what matters to you, and try your best to help this world a little bit better than it is. This is the way to achieve the self-realization. It's not about, I want to reach success. It's that you do your best and then success will come to your way. That means you have to be patient. You have to be patient enough to wait for the life to unfold itself to you at its own pace, and don't rush. So there's something I've learned from the law of the universe which I found really helpful. It's that you are what you put in. In this case, in order to get what you want, you have to first have a good intention. So if you are constantly throwing those negative things to the universe, you are constantly getting those negative feedback back from the universe. On the contrary, if you are putting all those good intentions, good stuff to the universe, it will give you good feedback and you will feel happy. So another analogy that I really like is that it's like planting seeds in your mind. So you are always being intentional and putting those seeds that have good intention in it. Eventually it will grow into something that will not only do you good but do everyone else around you good, because they can all benefit from whatever plants you are planting. But if you're constantly putting those things that are negative, for example, you're planting those negative things, negative emotion into your mind, it will eventually grow into those things that you hate. So it's always like a projection. Whatever you see from others sometimes, it's also a projection of yourself. So if you are, say, a loving and caring person, then everyone around you can actually feel it. Because, it's an energy-based world. It's like everything that happened to you right now, breathe in, breathe out, it's all energy. You have to acknowledge that, and you have to know that even two people are in the same space, they didn't talk. Sometimes in a spiritual level, they can still feel each other. I know whatever I just said sounds like something spiritual, and it is spiritual, and that is definitely something I learned. So just do something always in a good intention and planting those seeds that are all about loving, caring, all things that you would wish others would do to you. It's like the saying, do unto others. First came here to the US. As an international student here, I worried so much about my accent, and I worked a lot on improving that. But many years later, now after I've moved to New York, I realized that no one actually cares about your accent. What's more important is that you have to articulate your idea really well so people can understand. Because the function of language is for people to communicate. So communication is a very important thing, but we shouldn't judge each other because we don't say the language perfectly. As long as we articulate our idea really well so that people can understand, I think that is all it matters. So language, it's just symbols. So we shouldn't think too much about it. I think the only reason why the 18-year-old me worries so much about being judged is because I haven't been mature enough to understand that. So I hope that everyone can understand this, and then sometimes just put your fear, insecurity behind and just open up and be vulnerable and trust a human being, trust people, trust that you can learn something from every single being living in this world. We are created for a reason. So be loving and caring and do something good, do something matters to you.